because we love Black culture.
Hi, I'm Michael Rooks, Whelan Family Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art. And today I'm joining two brilliant colleagues from the museum to take over the Instagram program called Ask Me Anything. Those colleagues are Kayla Gaskin, who is a 2018 through 2020 Mellon Undergraduate Curatorial Fellow at the museum. And Kayla also recently graduated from Emory University, so congratulations to Kayla. And Imani Adwele, who is a teaching assistant in the museum's summer camp program right now. And she's also an alum from our teen team, 2018-19 alum, I believe. And the teen team is a formidable group of much beloved young people here on our campus, and we're always grateful for their brilliant input to everything we do. So today we're going to be answering questions about the artwork titled Love is the Message is Death. It was made in 2016 by Arthur Jafa, and we recently completed a 48-hour live stream of the video on our website. We started it Friday at 2 p.m., last Friday, and we ended it yesterday at 2 p.m. And we joined 12 other museums across the country and some in Europe as well in presenting this live stream this weekend at an important moment in our history, an important moment of reckoning with racial injustice in this era of Black Lives Matter. So we're looking forward to answering your questions. We're going to get to them right now.
Hi everybody, my name is Imani and I'm a Teen Team alumni here at the High Museum of Art. Today I'll be taking over the High's Instagram page for Ask Me Anything, and I'll be answering some of your questions about Arthur Jafa's piece, Love is the Message is Death. So let's begin. The clip that had a really strong impact on me was the clip of the young boy crying because his dad was yelling at him to put his hands on the wall, and he was telling his son that this is what the police would do. And it just made me so upset because I hate that Black parents have to warn their young Black children about the possibility of a police doing that to them. Like, it's sad, but it's also necessary too, because in this society, police brutality is something that Black people, young or old, any of us have to worry about. I think that they can, but they don't necessarily have to. Personally, for me, video art makes me feel more than paintings, but for somebody, it could be the complete opposite. It just depends on the type of person and also the message that the piece of art is saying. Like, a video art piece can have a stronger message than a painting, or vice versa. Well, I feel a lot when I watch Love is the Message because so much is being portrayed in it. Like, for example, when I see Black excellence, I feel proud, but when I see violence against Black people, then I become very angry. But overall, the feeling that I feel when I watch it is frustration, because you can't love Black culture but also hurt Black people. Black culture and Black people are inseparable. You can't pick and choose, so just frustration because of that contradiction. I think this artwork has been called the most important artwork of the 2010s because so little has changed. In Love is the Message, there are clips from the 2010s used, but there's also clips from the 1950s and 1960s civil rights movement used, and this similarity between the past and the present shows that the civil rights movement is ongoing, and throughout the whole entire time, Black people have never stopped persevering. Alright, so that was all of the questions that I'm answering. Now Kayla's going to answer some more questions for you guys.
Hello everyone, my name is Kayla Gaskin. I'm one of two 2018 to 2020 Mellon Undergraduate Curatorial Fellows at the High Museum of Art, where I've been mentored in modern and contemporary as well as photography. Thank you so much for sending in your questions about Love is the Message is Death. I look forward to getting into it. Here's a quotation from AJ that helps me understand his goals in creating this work of art. Quote, "I want to hear how you feel in the face of the work as much or more than what you think about the work. Speak from the low place. Speak with your eyes closed. Tell us something true." End quote. With this in mind, we can assume that AJ wanted viewers to resist the urge towards detached intellectual analysis of this work and lean in more to what one is really feeling about it. As long as one is feeling something, in the face of love is the message is death, they're realizing a large part of the intent behind this piece. AJ's usage of the term the low place to describe where this piece can take you also implies that the feeling behind this work that it evokes can be really heavy and humbling, like it is for me and for so many other people. The answer to this question is threefold. First, the title, Love is the Message is Death, is an instance of call and response, a lyrical practice with deep roots in the African American tradition. For example, the iconic and legendary artist James Brown, who you can actually catch a glimpse of in this piece, has a song called Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, where he uses call and response to imbue the piece with deeper meaning. He calls out the first line, Say It Loud, and the audience completes it with their response of, I'm Black and I'm Proud, which allows them to participate in the creation of the art. Second, Love is the Message is the title of a song by MFSB, a disco group from the 70s that's most famous for recording the hits theme to Soul Train. I was introduced to this song thanks to this work by AJ, and have since added it to my music library because it's genuinely wonderful, and I would highly recommend that anybody search for it. Finally, the title is a reference to a love story, or a short story rather, by James Tiptree Jr. called Love is the Plan is Death. It's a science fiction narrative that tells the story of a young bug beetle creature that falls in love. Inspired by this love, he works against all odds to escape his inevitable death. You can find it easily by searching online, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. James Tiptree Jr. is an author of several stories that are referenced by AJ throughout his body of work of art and other publications. The structure and composition of Love is the Message is Death, is a mirror of today's chaotic information ecosystem. It reminds me of the short bursts of looping videos that smartphone users like you and I consume as they're scrolling through an endless social media feed of clips and images and videos cobbled together from all kinds of anonymous internet sources. Because of this, it can be intuitive to watch the video multiple times as it loops. In my experience, watching Love is the Message is Death on a loop can help you key into elements that you might have missed upon first, second, or even third watch, since there are so many clips being strung together in such a compressed amount of time. The image of the burning sun, which is pictured through differently colored lenses throughout the work, is more open to viewer interpretation than the more easily recognizable scenes of life on Earth. AJ says that his friend, filmmaker Khalil Joseph, asked him about the meaning of the sun as well. The artist responded by saying it's meant to suggest the scale, the vastness, and the enormity of Black life. Personally, I also love to read the presence of the sun in this artwork as representing an invincible source of life-giving energy. Thank you so much for joining us for today's AMA and submitting all of your wonderful questions. If you appreciated some of the thoughts that I have to share, please feel free to join me for an upcoming conversation piece at the High Museum on a Dawood Bey photograph that we have in the collection, which I'll be talking about at noon on July 14th. Thank you so much. Goodbye, and until next time.
Love is the Message is Death was premiered at Gavin Brown's Enterprise in New York. Gavin Brown's Enterprise is a commercial gallery based in Harlem. And the work was shown there in January 2017 when it was called Essential Viewing, an article in The New Yorker by Andrea Scott. The soundtrack to Love is the Message is Death, is the song Ultralight Beam from Kanye West's 2016 album, The Life of Pablo. The artist described his use of the song for the artwork as intuitive. He had actually completed making the artwork, constructing this montage of images from different sources. When he saw the performance of Ultralight Beam on Saturday Night Live in November of 2016, the performance itself and the music so inspired the artist, he went back to the video and layered the soundtrack, the song with the images, which resulted in what is this wonderful kind of complement of a musical work of art that is almost like a tone poem in terms of its epic scale and the number of individuals and talents that went into making this. And this work of filmic proportions that mirror ultralight beam. Both have this kind of vastness, this epic quality that is, I think, wonderfully complementary. The images used for Love is the Message were drawn from a vast archive that is compiled by the artist. He has an archival practice, a research-based practice. And he has said that whenever he sees or hears something interesting, he'll download it, image, sound, text. And that constitutes this wealth of resources that he uses in his work. Arthur Jafa has also an amazing visual acuity. It's incredible. And so a lot of the relationships between images are both lodged in his head and also I think happen intuitively, drawing again from this resource, this archive that he builds. If you are interested in learning about the adjacencies of images in the work and why he's chosen specific works, you should go to Vimeo to look up a video interview between Arthur Jafa and Greg Tate in conversation. The High Museum acquired Love is the Message is Death in 2017 as a gift from the artist Alex Katz and his foundation. We own it along with about 10 other museums as an addition, and it's kept in our collection digitally. It's digitally archived, and we can, as a museum, lend it to other institutions, just like we do other objects, paintings or sculptures or drawings, prints, what have you. What's interesting about this past weekend's live stream is that by live streaming it on our website for 48 hours, along with 12 other institutions around the world, we countered the idea of property of an object in an interesting way. And I think that challenging the notion of property is part of the work of anti-racism that we all need to do. Other artists who work in film, video, and media who you might wish to look up include the American artist Khalil Joseph, whose work was featured in the last Venice Biennale, as was Arthur Jafa's. In fact, Jafa won the Golden Lion in the last Venice Biennale for his work titled The White Album. Khalil Joseph's work titled Black News was also one of the most compelling works in that Biennale, in my opinion. Another artist, John Okomfra, is British. He's from an earlier generation. His last name is Akomfrah. And I would highly recommend looking his work up as well. Another British artist, Isaac Julian, is an artist who works in a different style, cinematic style, more conventional sort of narrative, linear narrative I associate with his work. And on the commercial side, you might wish to reacquaint yourself with the work of Bradford Young, who is an American cinematographer who was nominated for an Oscar for his work in Arrival, which was made in 2016. You may not know that Arthur Jafa himself is a professional cinematographer who's worked on that side of the field as well. When we reopen to the public in July, the museum has established a set of guidelines to maintain social distancing during this time of pandemic. And for that reason, we'll be temporarily closing our media space, our space where we show videos. And for that reason, we will not be presenting any video works in the near future, but we'll be looking forward to representing Love is the Message is Death as